Getting a sneak peek into the most anticipated games is a gamer's delight. We cherish any morsels of information about upcoming releases, whether those are leaks that Bioshock 4 will be open world or rumblings of The Last of Us factions. But sometimes the best way to get our blood pumping is with some good old fashioned gameplay. Except, maybe it isn't. Across the years there's been a growing distrust between developers and gamers as what we are shown and what we get can and often are two vastly different things. Well, after years of lies, deception, or just lofty ambitions, along with the return of E3 this summer, we thought it was about time that we take a look at some of the best gaming reviews to discuss just how well their first impressions held up. Welcome to Retroactive Reveals. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Retroactive Reveals, and today we're taking a look at the behemoth that is Destiny. I am joined by Jeff today, big Destiny stan and all-round swell guy. Hello Jeff.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No bother at all. So, yeah, we're going to talking about Destiny. Were you a big, you are a big fan now? Were you a big fan back then, on the run up to its release?
Oh yeah, I was in from the first concept art that was revealed. I've been so in the bag for this franchise since pretty much day one.
Yeah.
I played the alpha, I played the beta, I did it all.
I seem to remember when the beta came out in the summer prior to it coming out in the September. I was going away on a lad's holiday, and the very next day it started one day and I had a flight at 6 in the morning the next day, and I was so mad about the holiday because I was just oh no, just really wanted to play Destiny, because to me this just felt like it was going to be the biggest thing in gaming, the next big step, because this was really obviously we'd had multiplayer games and stuff with Call of Duty and stuff, but this just felt like the next big push for obviously it was basically a massive multiplayer whatever MMO. I'm trying to say, I'm forgetting what the O stands for. But yeah, this just was just such a huge game, and obviously what was it, 500 million the budget?
It was something crazy like that. I mean, yeah. I feel like Bungie just spent everything they've ever made on making this game.
It seemed to be a game of the size of this game was nothing we'd ever seen before. So I was so hyped up for it. I booked the week off of work as well when it came out.
Oh man.
Yeah, and well, we're just gonna jump into it. I suppose this is the E3 2013 gameplay reveal we'd had. I think there was a couple of trailers before this point, maybe you're saying some concept stuff. I think this is when I came on board with Destiny. So yeah, I'm just gonna start the trailer now.
Sounds good. If you hear me crying, just ignore it.
See, I always get a little heartbroken when you see this landscape, just because I remember them throwing a grenade in a different trailer or something. Maybe it's this one actually, and they're all of this you can explore all of this stuff, and that is not the case. But
yeah, they wrote a lot of checks and they didn't cash all of them, but
I love me a good twist like that, straight into some kind of post-apocalypse. And this was one of the biggest immediate things, was just the design of the enemies is just so good.
They're so cool.
So this is our first look at the Fallen, and yeah, the Fallen are probably my favorite enemy design. I like the Cabal as well. Oh, and the Vex. See, I just like them all, to be honest.
Yeah, you're just reminiscing now. Yeah, I really think that they're all so good, but I think the Fallen are my favorite kind of enemy faction.
So we're gonna get a wee bit of a chat at this point. See, this is I just love putting together with the music, because the music is great in this, but building it up to be such a big experience. Obviously we're looking at this and it has this just giant dilapidated wall. It's just so cool. What's this you guys saying? Russia.
Yeah, especially in 2014 to see that. This was just when PS4s and Xbox One had come out. Or just after, rather. But this game just felt so big when it was revealed. Everything about it was this game is huge, and for consoles it's unheard of.
I remember this little detail, like not really, like this doesn't really happen, like the whole ship going by, does it?
Oh, I know. It'd be so cool if it did.
How's it going?
I love the cheese. Or like, hey man, how's it going?
So what are we doing, Joe?
There's nothing like a cheesy E3 presentation.
Unfortunately, looks like we got a man down. But we're gonna keep on going. You ready?
See, like I was saying this to Kyle as well when we've been watching the previous versions, is that I play video games like this. See, like the way that they do
I
this.
knew you'd make it. Jason Jones.
Oh,
Someday
happened
you'd
there?
come right back through my door. All right, buddy. So you and me, we're gonna go that way. Why don't you take point?
is the game freezing in this trailer? Looks like it was there for a second.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see all these little details. It's like the apps, like you're right, the scale of it, and I think that's something they managed to do very well in the actual game. Because like, although a lot of people just run by this stuff, you're not seeing all of those details. But like, I remember being absolutely blown away when you first go onto the moon and you can like look in the distance and see, the Earth just slowly turning.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I remember it took me forever to do this first mission when it came out because I was just every room I was just stopping and looking around like.
Yeah,
it was
and I
just
mean,
so cool.
I'm a sucker for lighting, and this is the. I'm pretty sure I edited this into the intro of this series, just because I love this. Is this? Are we going to get here a wee bit of a Dinklage ghost?
Oh, I hope we get the Dinklebot. He's the best.
It is.
There he is.
Oh, this is going to have
man.
the thing where he says it's a wizard from the moon, is it not? Is it not in this?
Oh God, I hope so.
I think it might be.
Yeah. If they
So-
go all the way through the mission, it should.
Is this dude going to light up the way? This is a very weird gameplay trailer. Like the way that I think they're cutting live between the two guys that are playing.
Yeah, it's so funny because Dinklebot. Oh, I miss him. It's like, yeah, like this is just like not the pace of regular Destiny as we know it now. It's just so funny to see them. I get that it's like, the introduction to gameplay into the world, but it feels so much slower than the game actually is.
I think that's kind of one of their big, something that I feel like so many people underappreciate is just the extent of like how cool their world is. Because this is something that to me is really highlighting. Like looking at the side, you've got the tower that's the wall that's protecting the last city. Is that, I'm assuming, what this is?
You're right.
And just these are the kind of things that when you're playing Destiny, I feel like you can just run through. But obviously, because I think at the time of the release, they implemented a lot of the game's lore into the cards, which you couldn't read in game. Was that right?
Yeah, they had the lore cards, and you had to go to the website to read them initially.
Yeah, that's.
It wasn't until like the first like major expansion that they actually put the lore in there.
Here's I was gonna say a wingman, but a hand cannon. I loved the hand cannon back in the day.
Oh yeah, in Destiny 1, that's all I used.
Yeah, the thorn. That was Destiny 1, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved the thorn. I just thought that was like one of the.
I love that the headshot noise for the Fallen hasn't changed. It still has that almost kind of like yelling noise.
Yeah. Oh, this has some of the best headshots like you can get in a first-person shooter. Like nothing more satisfying.
Oh, there's the first super.
Golden gun. I have never played as a hunter. Oh,
Oh. And there's
There
the
we
Nova
go.
Bomb.
All right, let's
Warlock.
move up.
Warlock is basically the only character type I've played as.
They totally wasted those supers, by the way.
Yeah. I remember this dude.
Oh yeah.
Rixus.
No, Jones!
I love that he's presented as like this really big deal, and like you literally only fight him here.
And he can also, like, when you get kind of leveled up a wee bit, that guy can be done before he's even to manage to crawl out of his hole.
He
Like, you
crawls
can-
out of his hole, you slap him with one golden gun shot. It's
Don't go
done.
anywhere.
Yeah, this is the thing I think. I think potentially they underestimated with well, surely they couldn't have underestimated, but something they didn't really showcase here is just like how dynamic the gameplay can be in Destiny. Because,
Well, maybe I did it.
you know, I was playing it recently with someone, and just being able to jump, like, you know, you're jumping up and down between different levels. Oh, here we go, Thunderlord.
You get a Thunderlord from the first boss. It's busted.
Oh wow, this is looking very dull in comparison.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at the upgrade tree.
Oh my god, it looks so different. And when like weapon level 200 was like a high level for it.
All right, let's see how she looks.
Because now the cap's like 1320 or something.
Oh.
Yep. That's big and blue and covered with lightning. Plug your ears.
I love it. I just love how fake this is, mate. It's actually a wonder to behold. Because we haven't had too many of like the gameplay, like voiceover stuff. There was a little bit of that in the Division, but this is the best one we've watched so far, I think. I love the Thunderlords. I love actually the heavy machine guns, just the meatiness of them.
Oh yeah. They just sound good to use, and they feel good too. I mean, Thunderlord is still one of my favorite guns, even into Destiny 2. I still bust that one out all the time. I remember walking this hallway all the time thinking,
Yeah.
those fans are huge, the lighting is crazy.
Squeezing your Sparrow through this hallway.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, real ones will know about that.
I remember farming this area so much. And this area, because is this the strike? No, this is the free roam area.
Yeah, this is the Cosmodrome.
Hey guys.
Hey, there she is.
Oh, there you go, got the third.
There's a
Looks like
Titan.
You guys could use a Titan.
Absolutely.
So what are we doing? And can I use this?
I
The
got to say the
Gallarhorn.
Gallarhorn. This is just going to be a very different episode of Retroactive Reveal. So it's Aaron and Jeff just gushing over the nostalgia of Destiny 1.
Just you and me, this every time we see a gun we know, like, oh my god, like that never happened in the game.
I was going to say, I remember, I think there was sometimes you got like the sense of scale when it hovered over, like when it went over you.
That doesn't look
Oh yeah.
Like
The
that.
flyover happened, but it wasn't destroying stuff on its way.
I love the, there was quite a lot of,
Fire team, let's go.
public events. Public events are a bit of a mess, I think. Because it's like, quite often with the public events, I just found that there wasn't really anyone there. Maybe you get one stray guy.
Yeah. Yeah, now they're pretty hit and miss, but they're really cool in concept. They're like one of the most like MMO aspects of Destiny, like in concept. But
Hey, we got another dropship coming in.
I love one of these guys.
It's got a jump.
the Walker.
Definitely Walker. Probably one of my favourite kind of heavy enemies. I love how just easygoing this guy is. Like, he's not really... Like, you would just be sitting there holding down the... Like, he's just shooting the ground right now.
We got another fire team coming in.
Oh, there we go. Another...
Man, I wish this actually happened.
Yeah, just fire team 2. Yeah, you did
Well,
not get that many people wandering in.
And the cool thing about Destiny is that, like, of course, you know, what's happening here has, like, the potential to happen in any game. It just never does.
Yeah, because I mean, people are only really doing like the free roam stuff if you're trying to farm for like
Here I go.
bounties. Oh, there he goes. Absolutely slain with a Nova Bomb.
It is funny seeing them cast it so hard as, like, an MMO type game. Like, they're really playing up that aspect of it.
Yeah. First look at the tower.
War is coming.
Is that Bill Nye that does this guy's voice?
We must
Yeah, Bill Nye was the speaker.
Yeah, just like seeing this, like the variety and not just the like the places you would be going. Oh, this is this guy that would never made it into it.
Out here in the wild.
Yeah,
This is
the story never happened. Like, there's Aldrin, but that story was just not in the game.
This music is giving me chills right now. Oh, also didn't come into it till, was that
Your
the
mission is vital, Guardian.
I was going to say Dark Below, but I don't even think,
If you succeed, you will
like when it
become
came to, is it Saturn's Ring?
This city will fall.
Saturn's
The last
Rings
light
was
of civilization will
Taken
go
King.
Yeah, because that was actually, there was a planet that they revealed that actually ended up not being in it at all. But there we go, Destiny become legend. Yeah, I was.
Oh man.
This has me even just now, even though I know that it is a bit cheesy and it is a bit scripted, like it still has me wanting to go back to this game, because I think there's a bit of like, there was kind of a sense of wonder with this, like I was saying, like the scale of it, and just like it just looked like such a fun time, like absolute escapism. Obviously then you're coming with Bungie as well, who are like the FPS kind of
Some of the Godfathers, yeah.
yeah, with the Halo games, which I actually never really played. I think I only played Halo 4, which was 343 Industries and not Bungie. So
What?
yeah, so this would have been like my first.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's a whole other episode.
This would have been my first Bungie game. But yeah, at the time when it eventually came out, I remember there was a spell, in a way that I was disappointed when it first came out, because it was kind of lacking in terms of like, what do you do? Like what are you supposed to do if you're like just got an hour to kill or whatever, or like once you've fired through the campaign and all this kind of stuff. But like part of that was annoying, but then also I just skimmed through, like I just played this is actually my most played game out of, like, according to my PlayStation 5 hour count, but Destiny 1 is my most played game with just shy of 1,000 hours, because
Yeah.
I think gameplay wise, like the guns felt amazing, the traversal felt incredible, and then like just all the kind of eye candy of going to all of these different planets was just amazing. What was your kind of first impression when you like first got the first, like, say, month or so with the game?
Yeah, so I think mine was pretty similar. I mean, like, I got it, I was a freshman in college when it came out, and so I remember going and picking it up after class, and just, you know, I was just blown away playing through, like, the campaign and everything. I mean, even kind of hesitate to call it a campaign, because there really wasn't any story to speak of in the base game. But like you said, I remember just like the ability to like go to different planets, and they all had different enemies and all the different loot, and it was like the best feeling game to play I've ever played. I still think even now, like Destiny 2, I still think has the best, you know, controls and gunplay of any first-person shooter on the market. I think it's still the best.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time just being blown away by how smooth it played and by how big it was, and even with like the content kind of drought, I still just kept coming back to it because I didn't really know like what, like, you know, like the grind was yet.
Yeah.
But I just knew I wanted to just keep exploring and keep figuring out what the game was about.
Yeah, I was the exact same. Like I didn't just quite get the idea of what I was. Although I knew like, oh, maybe there's content missing, but what I'm playing time and time again is incredibly fun. Like it's just such a great feeling game, and I think a lot of that goes into like, I love the animation, like the way like your gun would shake underneath you, or how it would take up like, say, like half the screen when you landed from a big drop and stuff that. That was like doing all of these little things that were just really, really cool. And even some of the smaller stuff, like the fact that they implemented that, you know, like your ship traveling through space or like hovering over Earth or whatever planet it was you were at for the loading screen, I thought was just so cool. Like I was like, it was just polished to perfection. Like all of these different elements that previously maybe a game would just do like a black screen with some tips or whatever while it loaded, but they were like, no, we're going to make every single moment that you're playing this game an absolute joy to look at. Which
I mean, I feel like the game like didn't like hit most of like its full potential until like the Taken King came out like a year later. But like even before then, just it's like you said, it was really just the little stuff that kept you playing, like all the little one-liners and stuff in the strikes, like every weird line delivery from Peter Dinklage, like the Wizard and the Moon stuff. All the different guns, like getting your first exotic. I remember getting my first exotic gun and just being like, what the hell is this? Like, this is amazing. This gun is epic and powerful. I think it was just like the Mida multi-tool, which is like kind of a boring gun. But just like those like feelings like the first time doing all of that, especially for someone like I'm not sure if you're the same way, but for me, I'd never really played like an MMO before.
Yeah.
Like, I played a little bit of RuneScape in like middle school, but never anything serious. So like discovering all like that loot and stuff for the first time, I don't know. I still think back very fondly on it.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. It's like one of those kind of the foundation, I think, for like why I like multiplayer games and playing so many games with friends. Like this was kind of the first big launch pad for me into loving that so much. Not like I did play the Call of Duty game before, but like this just was something else where it wasn't so much just, oh, you're just playing, you're just shooting, and you're nothing really to do with each other. But in this, you're like actually helping each other, and I can do something, and my friend would be like, oh, that was really cool, and they'll be like, oh, you get a nice bit of armor and all this. I just loved all of that stuff where like, you know, you could look at your characters and show it off with one another, so it was like an actual experience with your friends, which I don't think I'd really had or seen in another game before. As a console gamer, I will say, like, I'm not obviously there's like a whole side of this kind of stuff with PC that I've possibly missed out on, but like Destiny was like the game that really introduced me to that, and that's why I love games, you know, like the Battle Royale games. I have such a fondness for, because it reminds me of my time with Destiny as well. So yeah, it's you got me all nostalgic right now. I'm ready to go and boot it up.
Like, dude, as soon as we finish recording this, I'm gonna go play Destiny 2. Like, it's just I really just like love this series so much. And watching that trailer, it reminds me how like also just kind of weird like the first game was. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in that trailer. Like, they had the skeleton in the car, and they had like the upgrade tree. What the hell was that? It doesn't even exist anymore. The UI was so bare bones, even though the game world was so like massive. It was just such a strange game, but everything somehow pulled together and it worked. You know, to quote the great Todd Howard, it just works. It just works. Like, it's a wonderful game.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there for our extended... I knew it was going to be a long one. I knew it'd be too hard to contain it within 15 minutes, but...
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to be back next week with another Blast from the Past, but until then, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep it here in Jump Cut Play for more retroactive shenanigans, gameplay deep dives, and reviews. Thank you for joining me, Jeff, and we'll catch you all next time.